Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Real Legend of Gaming. We are back with some Clash Royale. Now, in today's video, folks, so we're going to show you some gameplay of my favorite ladder deck. If you didn't catch the last video, I shared with you a challenge deck that's pretty solid as well. But before we go into the video, we're going to go over some Clash Royale news, and it is a huge announcement. I'm going to read it right off the Twitter handle. It says, CRL status update. Details are almost finalized. We're currently working on establishing production dates, signing the final CRL West teams, and prepping for a special in-game challenge. Wink, wink. That means something pretty cool is happening, right? We've also reached out to specific casters for English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So CRL is coming very soon. And guys, you can expect that 20-win challenge to be coming very soon as well, to give you guys an opportunity to perhaps become part of the Clash Royale League. So this is good stuff. There's been some, I guess, mystery regarding when CRL Season 2 was going to start. So it's good to see that this progress being made and that it is actually going to happen. So I'm hype about that. So now let's go into the deck, folks. Alright, about a month ago, I covered this deck on a channel, and I've actually been using it on and off between two other decks. But this one here has really become my favorite out of the three. And I've been working towards, increasing the levels on the cards here. So as you see, I got a max level Fireball now. I got a max Cannon, Knight, and Musketeer. Still working on the Ice Spirit, the Skeleton, the Hog, and the Log. But overall, this is like the 2.6 Hog Cycle. Difference is I'm not using the Ice Golem, I'm using a Knight, so it makes it a 2.8. And again, I really like this deck because there's a lot of things that you can do with it. You can easily do a Knight Musketeer push, which is very solid. You have the Ice Spirit, which can really help you when you're pushing with the Hog. It can stop units in your path, allowing your Hog to get maybe an extra hit, sometimes even two. The Log is really helpful when you're pushing with the Log because it can take care of the Skarmy. It can also buy you, again, more hits at the tower. So I like the fact that everything is very cheap, and you can also cycle back quickly with units that can allow you to kite, which will buy you more opportunities to defend, or units that can actually defend, right, and do the job for you. And then by having the Fireball, it helps you against those splash damage units like the Wizard, the Musketeer, and it does help out a bit against the Witch. Depending on how high the level of the Witch is, you can do a lot of damage to it. And then with the Cannon, you have that Hog counter, right? Because the Hog is still very, very prevalent in the meta. It's always going to be, right? It's one of the most free-to-play friendly cards in the game, and it's fairly easy to upgrade if you've been playing the game for a while. So the Cannon gets the job done, right? So now that we explain the deck, as far as counters, obviously counters to the deck will be like Mega Knight, because it'll drop on top of all your units when you're stacked. Skarmy is a counter. Minion Horde is a counter. So with the Fireball, you got to save that for the Minion Horde or your splash units. Your Log, you got to save that for the Skarmy, the guards. And then obviously you also have the Elite Barbarians that are very dominant in the meta. So by having a Knight, that gives you an opportunity to counter them. The Skeletons also gives you an opportunity to at least draw them away until you can cycle back to the Knight or the Log. So a lot of things you can do with this deck. But enough with that. Let's get into some gameplay, folks. Alright, so the first match, we're going to go up against a deck that has a Mega Knight, and it also has a Valkyrie. So two cards that do give this deck problems for the most part. So again, I like to let the elixir count build up. I love starting with the Knight, and then I like to also follow up with the Musketeer. That's like my go-to move until I can find an opportunity to play the Hog safely, right? I also want to figure out what cards the opponent have. So they play the Archer, they split them at the towers. So already in my mind, I know that I want to use the Log on the Archers if I see them in the same lane. I used the Fireball on the Musketeer, took it out right away. Now they have a Wizard, so I got to remember that they have a Wizard and a Musketeer, so I got to be careful with my Fireball. This is kind of like a Fireball bait deck in a sense. We used the Knight against the Valkyrie, really saved us in the jam right there. Because that Valkyrie max level can do a lot of shredding to your tower. So again, we're going to let the count build up, but you don't necessarily have to because it's a very cheap cycle deck, but I want to kind of figure out what other cards the opponent has. So again, look, they got an E-Wiz, another Fireball bait card. So this is, if you like Fireball bait decks, you could probably check this one out. So we're just going to throw in the Ice Spirit. Again, I want to get the temperature of the match. So look, they dropped the Archers in a single lane. So right in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, use the Logs against them, right? So we're going to play Musketeer in the back. They drop a fireball, but it's not enough to take my Musketeer out, so we can drop the Knight. And if they didn't zap that Musketeer, she would have been able to progress and get more hits in. So now we're going to throw in the Hog Rider behind the Knight. We'll use the Ice Spirit to stop the Valkyrie, and notice it gives us an opportunity to get more hits in on the tower. But we have a Valkyrie that's almost maxed at HP, and that Musketeer is still there, so we'll use the Fireball. It took out the Musketeer. Didn't do too much damage against the Valkyrie, but because we had the skeletons, we were able to drop them like in the middle so that they can get kited away. So that really helped us big time. One elixir saved us, right? And that's what's crazy about it. One elixir for these units really gets the job done. Ice Spirit 2 is another card that's going to get the job done. So right here, we're thinking drop the log, right? But they just played a Mega Knight, so we're going to have to clean up this mess. The only thing we can use is the Fireball at the moment. And I'm going to put down the cannon just so I can distract that Mega Knight, because we don't want Mega Knight locking onto the tower. So now we got our Knight Musketeer push. We don't have to worry about the Mega Knight because it's not going to cycle back for a bit. We'll play the Hog, and then we'll use the Ice Spirit to stop everything in the path. And the Musketeer is going to clean up whatever we can, and we still have the cannon on the bottom. We'll log that there. Didn't really need to, but I had elixir to spare, and I also was approaching 10 elixir. So you see, again, more flexibility with the deck. We used the 1 elixir skellies there to take out the Musketeer. We saved our Fireball for the Wizard. Again, more flexibility with the deck. Now we got the Knight. We're going to push with the Hog Rider. We'll use the log to move the Valkyrie out the way, and an Ice Spirit again to stop the momentum. So at this point, even though we're going up against some counters against our deck, we're doing chip damage as best we can. Knight Musketeer, cleaning up whatever we could. They just used 6 elixir to take out my Musketeer. We're going to make them pay. We use a Fireball on their 2 units. We got an elixir trade-off right there. Now we just wait and watch this, because we know the Mega Knight is there. We don't want to go crazy and start dropping units altogether. So Ice Spirit just to cycle things through. We're going to drop the Musketeer from a distance and then spread out the Musketeer and the Knight so that the Fireball doesn't do damage to them. Now we got the cannon on the side because we want to distract the Mega Knight, and the Musketeer still rocking and rolling. Look at that. Now we drop another Muskie. We get a little crazy with it because at this point we are so smooth with the elixir control that we're going to win this match. We got the Hog Rider in there. We're going to throw in the log. This game is over. Hog's going to get another hit, and we're going to finish it off. So that's right there why I really enjoy this deck, because it cycles so smoothly and you can do so many things with these cards. So now let's get into another replay. This deck here has a Valkyrie again. It also has the Elite Barbarians, and it has the Executioner. Now, one of the cards I hate in Clash Royale is the Executioner. I don't think it's OP. I don't think it needs a nerf. But it's just a really, really good card, especially when paired with the Tornado. It gets the job done, and it really causes havoc, man. So I thought they had Tornado, so I'm playing as if they did. So I have to be very careful, right? Knight Musketeer, Ice Spirit. We drop down our cannon for their Hog. We can sit back now and just do damage with the Muskie. We're going to throw it in the log because we got, we got to watch our elixir. We don't want to bleed elixir. And then we'll drop down the Knight because we're able to cycle right back to it. So then we go with the Knight Hog push. We're going to go right in there. We'll throw in the Ice Spirit. Now check this out. I really like this part. Kills the Skarmies that will spawn from the Witch, and it freezes the Witch for a bit. And she's not doing anything to this Hog Rider. She is totally neutralized. Her damage is so weak. It's like she's smacking them in the head. And it doesn't hurt because it's just not powerful enough. So now we got the E-Barbs in there. We'll drop our Knight. Now you see how quickly I'm able to go back to the Knight? The Knight is really acting like a Knight. It's defending us non-stop. So now we got the Musketeer. We're approaching the bridge. We're going to play the Hog Rider, right? It's going to tank, right? The Hog Rider is a tank also. Ice Spirit, stop the Valkyrie. More hits in. And notice the Musketeer still chipping away. While our elixir is still building up. This Valkyrie is done. We're going to drop our cannon. Distract that Hog Rider. Sit back. Relax. Don't panic, right? Let the count build up. You don't need to do anything. You got a lead on the tower, and you just want to push. And also, too, if you look at the cards I got at the moment, I only have the log, the Fireball, and this the Skeleton. So not a lot I can do, so I waited a bit. That allowed me an opportunity to throw the Fireball at the Witch, and we'll clean up with the log because I want to do chip damage And I know that the witch is going to give us some problems if she progresses the bridge. So there goes the E-barbs. We got our knight already. Because the knight didn't pass the tower yet, I needed to use the skeletons to distract the E-barbs, and it worked perfectly. Used the lock to push back that executioner, and guess what? Another knight in the play. So now we're going to push with the Hog Rider. We got the knight moving. We're going to fireball that Valk so that we can be able to get some damage done. And the Hog Rider hits with that hammer, knocking that tower down. Cannon down for this Hog. This Hog has no chance of doing any damage to my tower. Cannon is just on point. They zap my tower. This game is over. They know the match is over. I definitely respect it, so I'm going to give them a good game because we did have a good battle. Drop the Ice Spirit. I'm not trying to do really any more damage since the enemy already surrendered. Game over, right? This match is over. And again, we use this deck in a ladder. This is ladder, folks. You see I'm going 2 replays against max level accounts. So you can use this deck. So hope you guys enjoy the content. Let me know if you use this deck. I want to know because I love this deck. And I want to know who else loves it too. And, you know, if you watch the video up to this point, then slap that like button. Subscribe for more Clash Royale content, all right? Because that's what we're doing on here, all right? Thanks for the support. Appreciate it. Peace out.